Good evening and welcome to week 5 of the Marea Friends concert series with violinist Tereska Grynia. We are so baffled that we've already made it to week 5 and that it's the first weekend in October. We are thrilled to be joined here with Tereska and to share this very exciting program that we have in store.
And I know Tereska because we went to the University of Georgia. That's where I did my undergrad. So that was 3 years ago. We were in school together. And now she is down in Dallas at SMU, and I'm here in New Haven. So we've been connecting virtually during this time. And just a little bit about Tereska. She was born in Krakow, Poland, and she studied in Krakow, and she also studied at the University of Georgia. Tereska was a member of CEI Youth Orchestra, and she was concertmaster of the Krakow Young Philharmonic, the Symphony Orchestra of the Academy of Music in Krakow, the Orchestra of Julius Slowacki Theater, and the University of Georgia Symphony Orchestra. Tereska has performed in Poland, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, Italy, Slovenia, China, Brazil, and the USA. She is presently pursuing her performer's diploma at the Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, with Professor Emmanuel Borak. And Tereska is also a jazz vocalist. So we have something special at the very end of this episode for everyone.
And one of the things that we'll also be discussing in this episode in Tereska's interview is about the power of harmony and the power of voices and instruments coming together to blend in sound worlds.
And before we get started, if you feel so inclined, please head over to our website and go to the ticket page, and we have an option of purchasing a $5 virtual ticket. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated already. And we put a lot of time and effort into these episodes every week, and it really means a lot to us. So
thank you so much and enjoy the show.
So this is week 5.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, of Marea Friends, and we're so excited to be here with Tereska Grynia. He is a violinist and vocalist, and I know Tereska from my undergrad at the University of Georgia, and it's kind of funny because I remember being at UGA and I don't think we ever actually talked that much at school, during school.
No, I don't think so. No,
yeah.
I don't know.
Because I feel I looked up to you, I was intimidated by how talented and beautiful you are. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god. I remember playing a gig with you in church, and I was
Yeah.
I saw your videos on Facebook or something, and you were this super pretty girl. I was she will definitely not want to talk to me, and I was
I thought the same thing about you, I think. But now we have broken the ice, and
Yeah.
here we are doing this. It's it's so funny. But okay, so our first question for you is, how did you start on the violin? And just can you tell us a little bit about your musical journey and how you got to where you are today?
Okay, I would rather say how it started with music first of all, before we get to violin, because
Of course.
I think my favorite babysitter was if my parents wanted to get rid of me for 2-3 hours. Yeah, I wanted to see the lady in yellow jacket. My parents are still laughing about it, and it was actually a member of Manhattan Transfer. They came to Poland. They had a live concert, and my parents recorded it. They love music. They always wanted to like listen to all concerts possible and so on. So they recorded it, and they noticed that I was gone. Like when you're into some like movie and you're like, I was gone. Like they could get, and
That's
they
right.
were doing that every time. Like I wanted to see a movie or blah blah blah, and they were like, "How about the lady in the yellow jacket?" Because that's what one lady in that band was wearing. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, yes, let's watch that." 2-3 hours, I was gone. I was just like listening to them singing, and I think that's when I like got obsessed about music and singing first of all. And once that happened, and like you have that like little influences from everybody around you. Like let's say my mom loves classical music. She was always listening to Mozart or Tchaikovsky. My dad loves to play guitar. He's really good. And like all these things around me, and we had that like some keyboard at home like that was like really old already, and that was my favorite toy. And my parents like figured out that maybe we should try to put her in music school or something. And and I think that was just like there were like exams and everything to get into this school, and I got in. They asked me what instrument I wanted to play. They were like, here's like your options: piano, cello, or violin. Definitely not violin. Piano. Do you have instrument at home? No, you cannot play it. Okay, then cello. All right. Next thing you know, I'm playing violin. I don't even know how. So I play violin literally.
Wait, that's so funny. So it just like it happened one day. You're like violin
fell into place.
I don't know how it happened that I play violin. I don't. I think it was like a coincidence. Like I don't remember picking up this instrument ever. I think I was saying hello. That's literally what I remember. And they were checking if my hands are big enough. And that's what I signed up for. Maybe it was because of like renting situation. We had only certain amount of instruments in school. Maybe there were not enough cellos. I don't know.
How old were you when you started to play the violin?
I was like 6.5.
Wow.
Just when you go to school.
Yeah.
Wow. So you started piano before violin? So you were even younger when you started piano?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I was playing piano like you imagine kids having lessons. That was my toy. Like I listened to recordings on the radio, some songs, and I was just singing the main melody, and I wanted that harmony. Like that's something that always, oh my God, I just love harmonizing things. I'm still having that obsessions that if I hear a song that I already know and I cannot sing it because someone is already singing it, so how about I will add voice? Like, can you chill for a second?
So you just have like this passion inside you that's just music. I feel like that's like that.
For harmonizing mostly. I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course for music, but that was my toy. My toy was keyboard. That's how I played. Like Christmas carols, I wanted to sing, but I wanted to play them too. And like I had no idea about like what chord is, like tonic, subdominant, what. No, I was just like having fun. So I wouldn't call it I was having piano lessons or something that I was playing piano. It was more like trying what sounds right and what sounds wrong. That's about it.
Tereska, tell us a little bit about how you started to study voice, and how does your vocal study impact your playing as a violinist, and how have you really kind of just used both of these art forms together to help you as an artist?
All right, so I wouldn't say that I studied voice until probably times of UGA. Before, it was only like in school we had obligatory choirs, so some warm-ups and just songs for kids, nothing special. Before, of course, as a kid you sing at home and it's not really professional singing, you know what I mean. I remember that in middle school I was, for the first time, probably not the first time, but like introduced to like jazz, that I had my own CD that I've been always listening to, and I got obsessed with song Cheek to Cheek, performed by Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. And on top of that, of course, I started like singing the third voice that was like somehow fitting in.
Yeah.
And I think that was the start about my obsession with jazz. That was definitely it. Like, I've never really understood that this genre it's like you use your voice in different way to produce this sound as for this genre like specifically.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so then I definitely was continuing like just warm-ups that I remembered, warm-ups that I researched on the internet. YouTube is, I'm sorry, but this is like a great place to find.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, I learned a lot from YouTube.
So we have had a slight change in program tonight. Instead of the Sideman, we will be showing a performance of Gershwin's Summertime by Tereska herself.
And as you may know, the Marea Duo also has a version of Summertime that was arranged by our friend and colleague Marea Friends that we've had a lot of fun rehearsing, performing, and recording. But tonight we will be sharing Tereska's version of this, and it is really phenomenal. She's an astounding jazz vocalist, and I know that you will enjoy it.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your dad is rich and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of this morning, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you take to the sky. Oh, but till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With Betty and Mommy standing by. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the color is high. Oh, your dad is rich 'cause one of this morning you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you take to the sky. But till that morning, there nothing can harm you. With daddy and mommy standing by. With daddy and mommy standing by.
What is your favorite part about performing? It can be violin, playing in an orchestra, or singing. I don't know. What's your favorite part about performing?
This is tricky because classical music and jazz music, these are like two different worlds for me. I'm not mixing them. Singing, jazz, playing violin classically. Okay, so in the classical world, definitely my favorite type of performing is playing in orchestra. There's just I can't compare this experience being part of like massive sound that I cannot have a massive sound as a violinist. I mean, of course, you can be like that David Oistrakh and just have this big sound, but that's not the type of sound I mean. I need that harmony, I need that colors of all instruments. Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. And because it's not only one person or two or small ensemble, I'm talking about symphony orchestra. There is no way you have total control over so many people. So there is big possibility that something will happen. Usually happens.
Yeah.
And isn't that the reason why we are coming to the concerts? Not to hear over and over the same recording of perfection. Of course, if it's perfection plus something different that we never expected that happened only on that concert, that's it. Like really, there's this uniqueness of symphony orchestra, and that uniqueness is all, of course, always present in jazz, because there's no structure. Here we start, here we finish. Nothing like, with whole like respect to classical music, we have our script, we stick to the script, and it's basically when we are done with all acrobatics, then it's perfect. When we succeed to go through that's perfect. In jazz, is like the more adventurous you get, the more perfect it is, and it's unpredictable. It's kind of, to me, it's always stressful. Like I go and I don't know what to expect, but also that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like two different worlds. So singing, jazz, probably jam sessions.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
And Amelia was telling me a little bit about how you were concertmaster at a lot of the concerts in UGA, and you were kind of talking a little bit about how one of the exciting parts about being in orchestra is that you can't really control so many people. So when you're sitting in that chair as concertmaster, like what are some of the things that are going through your head, and how do you kind of let go of the fact that you can't control all of these people? What do
I let go?
What do you tell yourself?
I definitely always felt like this is huge responsibility, and I'm not allowed to like have a bad day, even though some things are not going great. You are just there. People can't count on you. Definitely being concertmaster helped me dive deeper into the partitura, the score.
Yeah.
I don't think that ever before I was that prepared to concert. Like I started really like learning what is going on in the music.
The next piece we will be performing this evening is Soomin Kim's The Weight of Wind. And Soomin is our friend and colleague at the Yale School of Music. She is a composer, and I actually reached out to her last year before when I was preparing for my master's recital, and asked her to write a piece for me, or if she would be interested in writing a piece for my recital, and she said yes, and she wrote this beautiful piece for this ensemble, which is oboe, bassoon, and voices, and piano. And the oboe and bassoon parts are the voice parts as well.
And I remember the first day that Amelia and I were rehearsing this piece with pianist Derek Hartman, and Soomin was there. We were all interacting and sharing the first moments of unraveling this wonderful work. And I kid you not, we heard the wind almost singing. We were rehearsing in a classroom at the Yale School of Music, and it was just this really powerful moment where all the musicians were like, whoa, did you hear that? Like the wind was almost talking to us.
Yeah, and Soomin wrote this piece, The Weight of Wind, about the wind. So she tried to kind of interweave the sounds of the wind within the music, which is interesting because we were hearing the wind.
Yes, and we will be joined in this recording that we made in Iowa City, Iowa this summer by pianists Gadir Abido. And here's a little bit of a word from Soomin Kim herself about writing this composition.
Hi everyone, my name is Soomin Kim, and I'm the composer of the piece called The Weight of Wind. I wanted to capture various motions of wind in this piece, so some sections are faster with a continuous stream of 8 notes, and some are slower and more lyrical and static. I had a lot of fun writing this piece because I got to explore juxtaposing double reed playing and singing. So I'd like to thank Marea Duo for giving me the opportunity to work on such a fun project with them, and for their amazing performance of this piece. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening.
How do you manage your time when you are playing in orchestras, playing violin, and then also singing? Do you have like some good strategies, or are you just like a very organized person? Yeah.
I wish I could say the last one. I think the hardest part about being a musician is like you don't have like regular schedule. It's not 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Every week is different. You don't know what to expect and so on.
So true.
I made. Oh, no, sorry, I'm just exaggerating. But I think I got myself into some, let's say, like rituals, just not to get crazy, especially now during coronavirus when there's like you wake up and is it Wednesday?
Yeah.
I definitely have a list of things that I need to do and my plans, like what I want to achieve, just my general goals, let's say by the end of the year. And I prioritize what has to be done like right now, this week. What can wait and how long can it wait? Because some projects like this can wait and you find yourself waiting for 5 years. Definitely guilty of that. Students cannot be rescheduled. Therefore, everything around students, everything that you squeeze has to be around, let's say, rehearsals and performances. I'm trying to have that routine of waking up in the morning and going to the gym at least like 5 days per week. And thank God I'm succeeding with that. And that like pushes me. That reminds me that there is a schedule. You have only this amount of time. You have only time until, let's say, 10 a.m. to respond to your emails, because then you go to the gym. And then after gym, you have only this amount of time to like put yourself together. Then you need to practice. Then you have something. I mostly practice voice when I'm driving, like literally, because there's no way to squeeze. I almost have 2 lives because of voice. I mean, right now I don't have any life because it's coronavirus. but you know, when everything starts, it's really hard to squeeze all those duties and things that you want to do, but also things that you have to do. It's so hard to prioritize. It's just constant juggling. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, just prioritizing all the time.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And working on your like self-discipline. That's what I think gym really helps with. It gives you time to like meditate, calm down, get rid of all stress. And just this little habit gives you that pulse of life, that rhythm, that you are not, today you are waking up at 8, the next day you wake up at 11, and you know, like you're not in any structure. I need some structure. I'm gaining a lot of self-control from going to the gym, so that's my favorite.
I also really liked how you said you have goals that are in the near future and then goals that are in the big picture, kind of, and really keeping those focused. I feel like that thinking about the large scale is so difficult during coronavirus time, because I feel like it's such a day by day thing. I feel like I'm just saying like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's hard to.
But it's hard to be like, by the end of this year, I want to do this. So that was really refreshing and like a great reminder for me to hear that. So I really liked that advice.
Happy to help.
Yes.
How?
Nieważne ile łez zdołam uronić, nie bronię się. Dziś w zapomnienie pozwalam ci odejść. Czy chcesz, czy nie? Me serce krwawiło, kiedy twoje zabiło w rytmie innym niż my. Nie zdołasz przegnać z mej twarzy uśmiechu. Przygotuj się. Nie będę myśleć o tobie. Nie wiecznie, bo me serce krwawiło, kiedy twoje zabiło w rytmie innym. znosi myśleć o czasach, gdy byłeś mój. Ja w zapomnienie posłałam je miły, no i na zawsze się zgubiły.
How do you keep yourself in a grounded and focused mindset when you're performing? Do you have anything that you tell yourself, especially because earlier in the interview we were talking a little bit about how you have a role, a very big important role as concertmaster or by being on your toes in a jazz ensemble. How do you keep yourself grounded and focused?
And I think it's more about that, I guess, fight or flight type of feeling.
Yeah.
You know that you're going there and there's no other way around it. So you better do your best.
Yeah.
But there's no other option, really. I
Yeah.
mean, I think what definitely keeps me calm is that I know that I did everything I could. The preparation was like 100%. If I couldn't do something, it's not because I was lazy. It's because like I literally couldn't do it. So if this concert is going to be bad, well, what I couldn't do anything more. Like I always make sure that I give everything I can. But another thing is actually that during performance I don't want to keep my head down to the earth, because I don't know if you experienced that as a kid, but because we are not so much aware of how pieces are hard, how hard to, like technical things, we don't really know. We just repeat whatever our teacher show us. We just repeat that. If our teacher says it's prepared, then it's prepared. You don't overthink that. You're just like, yeah, if my teacher said I'm prepared, then I'm prepared. Now you are like responsible of your own judgment. Like, are you prepared? Are you really? Did you practice enough? Are you sure? Like, these are the thoughts I want to answer. Like, I want to answer these questions before I go on stage. But when I'm on stage, I just want to be that kid that enjoys music, because that takes off that stress and like what people think. How does my dress look like? Oh, is this light correct? Oh my God, my fingers are like moving so fast. No. Like, how does it sound to you? I don't care how I look like on stage, or if I'm doing weird faces, which I definitely do when I sing. I don't care. I think like if you don't care, it's as a kid just the same thoughts as a child. Like, you just don't know. You go, you are ready because you are ready. You just go. Yeah. That's definitely what keeps me sane on stage. We want to be so professional and so on top of everything and always responsible, always professional, that at some point we just put ourselves in that frame that we are squeezed in that cage of responsibilities, and then you go on stage trying to be an artist, really, in some like structured formulas. That's not what it is about. Like, no, release it, let it go, be yourself. Even if it looks stupid, who cares? People come to experience something, and experience is about emotions. Give the emotion. I mean, this is a piece what I believe in.
Yeah.
Well, also I feel like the release of your work is also so important. Like the art of preparation and the art of knowing that you did everything that you could possibly do. I feel like I'm actually really similar. Like, after I know I did my best with something, when I go on stage, whatever happens is I'm just having fun.
Yeah, but these days when you didn't practice enough or you skipped, and then these days are hitting you the most when you're on stage.
Exactly.
And like, I want to avoid that. I don't want to give this to myself. Like, I did everything I could.
The final piece on this episode tonight is a special little jazz tune that I'm sure many people are familiar with, called Georgia on My Mind. And we chose this song to perform on this episode because Tereska and I have this connection to Georgia, and the past 3 years are the only 3 years of my entire 24 years of life where I have not lived in Georgia. And so I guess you could say Georgia has really been on my mind. And especially connecting with Tereska has brought back a lot of memories of Georgia. So.
And I'm not from Georgia, but it has been an absolute joy to collaborate and get to know Tereska over the course of this episode, and we know that you will enjoy Georgia on My Mind.
Georgia, Georgia, a whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
I said, Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly.
Still in peaceful dreams, I see the road leads back to you.
I said, Georgia, oh Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly.
Still in peaceful dreams, I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tereska. It was seriously so great to meet you over this virtual
Thank you for
time.
having me.
And connect with you. It's a lot of fun. So,
Thank you for bringing a little bit of music sunshine back to our coronavirus life.
yeah,
That's what we're trying to do with this.
Totally.
Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in tonight to the 5th episode of the Marea Friends concert series. We are so beyond grateful every week for those of you who tune in and those of you who continue to donate and really who are a part of this process and being a part of this virtual concert community that we've been trying to create. And we want to hear more from everyone who tuned in tonight and those of you who are tuning in after the fact. And we would encourage you to fill out the survey that we have posted a link below. And just to give us a couple of your ideas on how we can continue to make the series grow and bring you the entertainment that you would like to see every Saturday night at 7 p.m.
And tune in next week. We will have oboist Cassie Pilgrim with us. She is the principal oboe of the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. So that's going to be a really fun and exciting episode that you definitely don't want to miss.
And last but not least, if you haven't already, please take a moment to purchase an optional $5 virtual ticket or make a donation to the Marea Friends concert series. We really appreciate it. And that is, I think, all for this week. But we are just beyond grateful for this, and it's really been such a creative outlet and a meaningful way for us to connect with other musicians during this time of musical isolation. So
thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Have a great evening.
Same time next week.
Yes.